All right, welcome to the seventh and what will be the final Swiss round of the Legacy Challenge. There's a super outside chance that if I win this, I get into the top eight, but and I'll record those as well. But most likely, this will be the last round. And if it is, I'll record kind of like a recap afterwards. Otherwise, I'll have three more rounds to play, or hopefully three more rounds to play. Once again, we won the die roll. I will choose to do the first because that seems pretty great. This is an interesting one. So, Cabal Ritual. So I can go Lotus Petal, Storm 2, Storm 3 for Cabal Ritual up to 3 mana. Lion's Eye Diamond, 4 mana, or 4th spell. Um, Infernal Tutor, Holding Priority. That'll bring me down to 1 mana, which bring me up to 4 mana for Lion's Eye Diamond. I would have 7 cards in my graveyard. I'd be able to find a Cabal Ritual. Cabal Ritual from what's it from 4 mana goes to 7 mana. Passive Flames down to 2 mana. Cabal Ritual back up to 5 mana. Cabal Ritual up to 6 mana. Infernal Tutor Tendrils. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to keep. I guess we're going to go for it. So, hopefully, I mean, if they have Force of Will, it's like one of those things again where if they have Force of Will, we'll lose. They seem to be F6 though. Red. Hopefully I did my math right. Oops, I didn't. Oh no! Okay, so they are lands. So, okay. I thought I was going to have Threshold. I don't know why I got confused. I think it's both a little bit of being tired and also being rusty. Luckily, we don't have a lot to change here. Really don't like any of these. Passive Flames can come out. And I kind of like all the blue things, or the non-Flusterstorm blue things. And I think Abrupt Decay is probably worse than Thoughtseize. Having to have green mana is kind of bad. Against the Wasteland deck. I'm gonna guess keep this. Not super great. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this. Any order, yes. I kind of want to land, but I definitely don't want 3 lands in a row. Take the sphere. It's like their only way of interacting with us. Could technically play Lion's Eye Diamond here. But assume they're gamble here. No gamble? Okay. I'm just going to cast this and pass. Ancient Tomb. Now they're going to try to gamble for like a sphere style effect. This is the reason that we played the LED. Discard Grove. Okay, Thorn. Maybe I wanted those lands after all. Everybody plays Choke. Why does people play Choke? Ooh, we get to discard a hand size soon. Another Choke. Tireless Tracker. Okay. Probably die to that one. Yeah, pretty locked. Basically dead in this game. Punted game 1. Losing this one. Yeah. Just a mixture of just being tired. Never been able to manage playing online and keeping energy, which is definitely my fault. I think if I'm going to get anywhere, I feel like I have to cast like a Brainstorm here. If I go get Island and then cast Lotus Petal, it just like doesn't work anymore. But it unlocks this Lotus Petal. I guess I do need the shuffle too. I think I'd rather cast Ponder next turn. Yeah, I should have got Underground. Yeah, they get to triple Ghost Quarter us. Good games, opponent. Okay, well, obviously we made a huge mistake and messed up there, but to be quite honest, I find, like, outside of Game 1, Game 1's, like, obviously pretty easy for the Storm deck. I actually find that the blue decks are much easier to play against than the lock decks are. The lock decks, you just, like, need speed And Ant's not necessarily super fast, which is kind of why one of the things I was thinking about is maybe playing Test for this weekend, just because it's just a lot faster. But and the blue decks are just kind of a buy when they don't have counterbalance in it for both decks. So I might just like end up playing Test, even though I kind of hate Rite of Flame. Just gonna do a quick recap of how the deck, how what I would like look at for the deck here. Legacy, here we go. So kind of your normal standard, what became standard Ant deck in the main deck. 8 discard spells, which I'm very used to. 2 Passive Flames I've played basically forever. 15 lands. You can kind of like play 14 or 15, but the main deck green source is pretty good. The sideboard I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know. Flusterstorm seems kind of out of place right now. It's like okay, but I don't know if I'd want to play more than one. Fatal Push seems pretty good. Abrupt Decay seems just awful. I know you probably want it against Counterbalance and Miracles, but I don't even know if you need to do that. Xanatorm's okay if you expect a lot of show and tell, but I don't even know how good that deck is right now. Feels like you're getting way too many bounce spells in this list. And then Massacre I don't think is the correct white creature removal spell if people are playing Lavinia and Gaddock Teeg, which is what we saw in this tournament. So I don't know. I think I would probably shave on the number of Echoing Shrews, maybe down to like 2, maybe 1, and then move one of those as a Chain of Vapor. Probably cut a Flusterstorm, maybe play another Fatal Push, maybe play something like 2 Dread Knight. Maybe even play another Tendrils of Agony if people are playing Death Shadow or something. We didn't see it here, but it definitely could be a player. The main deck, if you're going to play Ant, I think is going to be this version. I think the main 60 is pretty correct. And I liked what was going on in the main 60. But I don't know. It feels like it needs to be faster. The loss of Jataxian Probe definitely made it slower. Preordain is much weaker card than Jataxian Probe. I know it's what people call a hot take, but I am not a fan of Preordain. I think the card is just bad, to be honest. But it's probably the best of what we have available, and that's probably why I might just try Ant or Test, because usually it doesn't play Preordain, and it just plays more powerful beginnings, and I might try that for GP Syracuse, but I'll probably lock in a list, either Ant or Test this week, and post it up on my website, which is modularmanifesto.wordpress.com. So if you're interested in what I'll be playing in Syracuse, it'll be up on there. Unsure if I'm going to have a sideboard guide for it, just because sideboarding with this deck is pretty fluid based on the small decisions your opponents make. So like you can kind of have like it's a guide in every sense of the word. It's not a set in stone thing. It's like this is what you could board in versus what you could board out. And I feel like it's not like standard is very much like these cards are not very good and these cards are better. Similarly, like if your opponent's hate is like Massacre, or not Massacre, but Gaddock Teeg, then Massacre is really bad, right? So like maybe I don't board it in against something like Maverick because that's the case. I ended up doing that, but if I would have I could have been kind of hosed for doing that, where maybe I would, instead of against Maverick, maybe I should have boarded in more Echoing Truth, or maybe I should have boarded in the Abrupt Decays and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like knowing what your opponent could do. Like if I knew that all the blue-white decks are playing Lavinia, then I probably also wouldn't have Massacre. I would have more Fatal Push or something like that. So anyway, thank you for watching. Like I said, I like the Ant deck a lot, but I'm wondering if speed isn't the option that I would prefer a little bit more. And when that happens, then I usually play Test. So thank you, and see you next time.